I began developing Treasure Tech in January of 2018. I tinkered around with some other mods and poked around at the basics for a while, but I was ready to begin my project. I had plenty of experience making sprite art in the past, but making something in first person would be entirely new to me at the time. Weapon design, sure, but making something in first person that was animated, this would be a first. I finally made my first weapon in Doom, just for Treasure Guy. The Tech Handgun Mark I. A small scoped pistol. It had infinite ammo, but required reloading. It wasn't all that powerful either, but that was the point. It existed to help you get bigger guns, and be a last resort when you ran out of everything else. As crusty as this weapon is compared to my modern work, I really loved it at the time. After some testing from friends and peers alike, it received a lukewarm reception. People liked the appearance, but otherwise found it to be rather forgettable. Some even despising the infinite ammo nature of the weapon, almost considering it a cheat weapon. The more the mod shaped up, the more it stuck out in a bad way. The other weapons in the arsenal just had more significance, side by side to each other, than this pistol. I tried to keep it up to date by making a Mark II variant. It removed the scope and made the alt fire a super slug that cost the whole magazine, but the infinite ammo system kept holding it back from ever taking any true importance. On the last arc of developing Treasure Tech, where I had more experience as an artist and a game developer, better equipment, a more clear idea of what I wanted, I made the third and final variant of the Tech Handgun, the Fortune Finder. No longer an infinite ammo gun, you build ammo up tiny amounts every time you pick up other sources of ammunition. You can only hold enough for a handful of reloads as well. She's a powerhouse with a lot of kick, being able to fight practically everything one-on-one. She became something that would be relevant in the arsenal always, becoming a crowd favorite. Fortune Finder became the signature sidearm of Armin I always wanted to make. I consider it to be some of my best sprite art and game design to this day. But I just can't forget about the Mark I. If it wasn't for her, well, Treasure Tech wouldn't have gotten to where it is now. I mean, I won a CAC award, thousands of people have played it, and I have thousands of people following my work. I owe that weapon a lot. It was my first stepping stone into game development. With Treasure Tech Land in full development currently, especially with the side-grade weapon system we have in place for it, maybe it wouldn't have to sit in the back of my mind anymore. Maybe it could finally get back in the hands of Armin. Sure, it would need a makeover and be adapted to the Mega Class ammo system, but I could finally bring this classic back. Give a warm welcome to the return of the Wise Banker, the Tech Handgun Mark I. Upsized for Mega Class ammunition, and with a higher quality scope system, you'll find this to be a very easy handling weapon. The Banker deals the same primary shot damage as the Fortune Finder, but lacks the Super Slug alt fire in place of having a combat scope. It also fires and reloads a bit slower than its younger sibling, but makes up for this in some significant ways. Recoil and pushback are reduced drastically. It even resets its firing position after shooting, meaning you don't have to manually drag the mouse back down at your target. This makes focusing targets standing still and on the move far easier. Using the scope makes this already accurate weapon even more pinpoint in its usage. There's even less pushback and recoil when using the scope, plus no upwards pitch. Just be sure not to get tunnel vision from looking in the scope too long. Enemies might be right outside of your vision cone. So while the Fortune Finder is a faster handling weapon with a devastating alt fire, it can be a bit harder for beginner treasure hunters to handle. I recommend the Wise Banker for newer players, or anyone wanting a more focused handgun. To all you veteran Treasure Tech players, the Fortune Finder would probably be a better pick if you want that higher DPS. I hope you look forward to working with both of them in Treasure Tech Land. Look out for the next devlog. I think I've got a pretty metal weapon lined up next. That was awful. Why did it? Yeah, we're just gonna end it like this. That's it. Have a good night.